Hey up, how you doing? So this is the third video in this kind of mini series of app reviews where we're taking a first look at some of the different apps that people use for their hiking and wild camping trips. So I've done a video already on Footpath and one on View Ranger, and today we're going to take a look at osmaps. So you can download it, put the link up here from your App Store or Play Store, or visit the website there. Let's jump in and take a look. So I've opened the app up and straight away you can see you've got a really big view of a map, and as you'd expect and as you've seen with the other apps, I can zoom in and out by pinching my fingers and drag around with my finger. So it's quite a clean interface from first impressions. You've got a little search bar at the top, 3 lines that will give you your menu. Close that for now, and then in the bottom right you've got 3 circular icons. The top one finds your location, so you can see me there with the red arrow, and if I turn my phone you can see the arrow moves to point wherever I'm pointing my phone. If I click that top icon again, you see I get a small compass above it, and now what happens is the map stays locked to north. If I click that compass again, that disappears and I go back to my phone follows my arrow. The second one down, the kind of 2 dots with a line between them, is discover routes. So I can say what kinds of route I want to see: walks and hikes, runs or cycles. So we'll click walk and hike and then show me routes, and you can see now on the map some routes appear. So this looks similar to the View Ranger way of doing it, where you can see routes that other people have loaded in. So if I find a route, this is a 13-mile walk around Makeney. Click start route. So that's now got my location with the arrow, and it's put onto the map the route. So it's plotted my time and distance and current elevations there as well. So this seems to work similar to how the Footpath app does, or similar to how I use the Footpath app, where I can see my location, I can see the route that I want to take, and it's about getting my location to the route. I can't see anything for navigating me to the start of the route or anything like that. So we'll come out of that for now. Back to the 3 icons in the bottom right hand corner. The bottom one is your layers. So you get a standard map, premium topo. There are some other maps here where you need a subscription. So auto zoom, 25k and 50k. You've got an aerial map, which is what I'm on now, green space, and then the cycle network. So if I switch to standard map, you can see this is the kind of map that you're used to seeing in sort of Google Maps and a lot of the others. So usually for me, I only flip between this kind of view and an aerial satellite view usually. Don't use any others. To go back to that. One thing to mention with osmaps is, because it is Ordnance Survey, if you've got any printed maps, and you should have printed maps, you can load them onto the app. So here I've got a OS Explorer for the Peak District, and inside all of the maps you get, I'll just cover it up, at the bottom where it says Explorer OL1 there, you get a little bit that you scratch off and it gives you a code. If you put that code into the app, let me show you, it saves it as an offline map for you. So in the menu here I've got offline maps, paper maps, and you can see I've got 2 in there, OL1 and OL24 for the Peak District. So this is an alternative to doing the subscription. If you pay for a subscription to the app, you get all of the maps enabled, or if you've got printed maps like I have, you can enable them in the app one by one like this, which I think is quite useful. So let me come back out of there. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did with the other 2 reviews. We're going to plot a route around Bamford Edge. So I'm going to go to search, Bamford. So it's found it in the search. I can now plot a new route or share. I don't know why I'd share that at this point. So let's go plot new route. I'm on foot, walking and hiking. So we're in Bamford. We want to come up to new road. Select the next location to start tracking distance, time and elevation. So let me click that. Okay. So this is working similar to how View Ranger do it, straight lines. And it's not a very clear map on here. So I think that dotted line is the footpath. So I've gone off it already. Let's see how I undo that last action. What's that part? Undo. There we go. It's that little paintbrush icon there. That also gives me remove, undo and style. So I'm coming along here, along the dotted footpath. I mean, if you've seen the other two videos that I've done, you're probably starting to think that I'm getting some sort of backhander from the people that make the footpath app, because I keep banging on about it, but it is so easy, so much easier than this. Where am I now? Maybower Lodge. Right, I now need to find the path that comes down. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll try and flick to the OS Explorer map. So in theory, because I've loaded this in as a paper map, so I've put my code in, it should give it to me, and I think it has. So I want to be coming down there. I'm just going to go straight back to the start then. So as I'm building that route, as with the other apps, it's telling me my total time and distance at the bottom and giving me that graph of elevation. And I'm going to click save, give it a name. So I can set the difficulty myself. I'll just leave it on leisurely. Who can see my route? Only me or everyone. So that's, I'm guessing if I put everyone, that's where you can see all the routes on the map. Save that route, and that's now saved for us. So if I go to the menu in the top left, under my routes and maps, I've got routes, and there's my Bamford Edge route. If I go back to that menu quickly, we can take a look. So we've got create a route, which is what we've just done. Record a route is where you start a recording, you put your phone in your pocket and you go and walk and record it as you go. Find routes is what we saw on the map earlier. Open AR viewer. So the AR viewer, whatever that is only for premium users, so you need a subscription to be able to do that or use that. So we've got routes, we've got our offline maps that we can load in from our printed maps that we've bought. I've got my profile, preferences, then under support we've got map legend. So these are quite handy references. For each type of map you can load up the explanation of what everything is on there, what your routes look like, what different areas look like, just quickly from within the app. Just to show you how the printed maps work a little bit more, so I've got the two loaded in there for the Peak District. The OL1 is a dark peak and OL24 I think it was, let me check. Yeah, OL24 is the white peak. But what it means is on my map view, as you can see here, I'm looking at the Peak District, but on the edges of my printed views it goes into a lot less detail because I haven't loaded that map in yet. But if you do the subscription, you get the whole country to that sort of level of detail. So that's a quick look at the OS Maps app. First impressions, it seems like a halfway house to me between Footpath and View Ranger. So View Ranger is the kind of all singing, all dancing, social enabled platform for sharing routes, creating them and doing whatever you want to do. Footpath is just for you to use to create routes and walk along them really quickly and easily. And OS Maps is kind of in the middle, so you can find routes, you can share them, but there's none of that kind of, everybody's got a profile and a stream and a wall and all that kind of stuff. So, and I like the feature where you can load in your printed maps as well. Obviously, whenever you're going out, take your printed map anyway for the area that you're going to, but to have that as a backup I think is a really good idea. So the next app that I'll be taking a quick look at in this mini series will be AllTrails, so we'll look at that in a couple of weeks, and then I think I'll do a quick video comparing all 4 of them, and we'll come to some kind of conclusions and draw some comparisons and try and make some recommendations as well. But let me know if there's other apps that you use and find useful, or if you use any of the ones that I reviewed and there's things that I've missed. Let me know what you think to them. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to. Stay safe, stay sane, and I'll catch you next time.